Welcome back to the channel. Just got back. I went out and got myself a coffee. And wonderful New England, it is absolutely downpouring out. Flash floods everywhere. It's unbelievable. But that's the weather here. Tomorrow it'll be sunny and 80 degrees. In October, which should be cold and getting ready to, snow soon. But it's right around the corner. So, anyways, enough of that. Today's project, what we're going to be doing is I am going to hook up my mechanical oil pressure gauge again. I had noticed some drips of oil under it, engine oil, and it's leaking from a fitting, so I gotta replace the fitting to the nylon hose that goes up to the gauge. It was leaking at the fitting where it goes from AN to that. So I do believe everything I need here. I have some random fittings in here. I do believe I have what I need here to fix that. And lately, I've noticed when you put the car under boost, you start smelling a little bit of raw fuel, raw gas. I don't know what it's from. I cannot find it. There's nothing on the ground underneath it, so I don't know where it's coming from. So I got a sneaking suspicion that maybe it's making too much fuel pressure. I don't know, but I bought a fuel pressure sensor, 100 psi sensor, that I am going to tie in onto my regulator so I could data log fuel pressure so I can see how much fuel pressure it's making under a boost load. Obviously not today because it's raining out and it makes shit for boost when there's no load on the engine. It just spins the friggin' tires. So that is my plan for today. I got my fittings for that. So we're gonna get to work here in a minute. I'm gonna pause you guys and then I'll rearrange the camera and get it down to where I'm working and we will check it out. I'm also gonna try and clean up some of those wires today. From the trans brake and bump install. I still haven't been able to do anything there. I want to leave the ins and outs wires out because I do believe that I'm going to go 4-port boost controller and CO2 boost control. So in other words, there's going to be a CO2 tank in the cab of the truck, and that will supply the pressure to the top of the wastegate to control boost. So it won't be using the turbine anymore or the compressor housing for boost control anymore. It'll be using CO2 pressure. So I'm going to look today on a kit, see what I can buy for a kit. So we're going to do that today. I'm not going to buy it. Well, I'll probably buy it today, but I'm going to find one today. And the next thing after that, what I want to do is I do believe I want to go down the avenues of meth injection as well, so I can cool the charge down, cool the cylinder temperature down with meth injection. So we're going to explore that today. You guys won't see any of that until I make a decision on what kit I'm going to buy for that as well. I'm very limited to room under here, so I have to plan accordingly to where everything is going to go. Because this is actually I've been daily driving this thing every day, and it's been awesome. But like I said, that fuel smell is getting stronger now, and I'm starting to get nervous. And if you could smell fuel, that means it can burn. So I don't want to lose the truck that way. So we are going to do the fuel pressure gauge today, like I said. Fuel pressure sensor today. Tie it into the Holly so I can data log fuel pressure. And that will tell me what's going on, if it's after the regulator or before the regulator, I hope. And then the next thing, if I don't find anything there, I'm going to have to build a... actually, what I might do is just ramp the fuel pressure up really high and see if I can see it leaking from somewhere. So I might run like a bag of shit while I'm trying to search for that, but at least I'll be able to see where it's coming from. If that doesn't happen, I think I'm gonna have to pull the injector rails up, change all the injector O-rings on the rail side and the intake side, because who knows, I could have ripped one and it could just be the air underneath the engine compartment pushing, floating around. It could be misting it and then just evaporating it immediately, and this is leaving the smell there. So, alright, gonna pause you guys. Okay. I'll pull the gauge off here off the regulator.
Just resto modded underneath. Why spend money on chrome and paint that's going to get scratched?
Focus on the utility of the car and enhance the drivability.
Okay.
Just flog it. Have fun with it.
Do people find cars?
Grab a rag here. Wipe off that old sealer.
They'll come to us with some personal relationship
Okay.
with a classic car. Right. Usually we have to hunt them down.
So, let's see. Are you guys in the shot? Let me see.
Yeah.
Well, you can kind of see what I'm doing. Let me. Yeah. Alright, so here's the fuel pressure regulator. Here's the gauge I just took off. Over to good old Home Depot. You know, I probably got 30 of these goddamn fittings. I just don't feel like digging and looking for them. This is where I'm bought to. What I got here, let me get them out of the bags.
So this car, it has a LS7 from GM Performance.
Is it fun sometimes with low weight Porsches and Corvettes?
Okay.
Oh, nothing.
So I basically got a T-fitting, 1/8 inch piped MPT pipe thread.
And what is this leather here?
And I got
So this is
one of
actually
these.
four.
Yeah, but then it's heavy.
I'm going to put this
Super durable. Big part of the
basically like this.
design in the interior on the derelict.
Thread this into the top of the regulator. Put the gauge up here and the sensor this way.
Tap and drop.
So, depending on how tall it is, I have to look. I might have to go like this and go on the top and then put the sensor this way and a gauge this way or that way or whatever. But, so, I have to mock it up. So,
This is not an inexpensive car, is it?
No, and it's
and let me zoom you guys back in, see what I'm doing over there.
highly personal, like functioning sculpture.
Maybe. There we go. Okay.
Because the hours add up, especially when you have to make it look like you did that.
So, if I go this way,
Martin's famous quote, it takes a lot of money to look this cheap. Yeah, yeah.
alright, put a gauge here. That actually looks pretty good. Let's see what it looks like the other way.
This thing kind of meets the legal definition of a
It's just the height is the problem,
someone's under the hood.
you know?
Big old beast.
Okay,
So-
you kind of patined it up a little bit under here.
Yeah,
That
you
might be
recognize
just
that?
a little too high.
442.
Might hit the
The one
hood.
thing you can do on these cars you can't do on most
Um,
cars is this. Yeah, and you got, oh, I scratched the fender. Oh, gee, what a horrible.
Yeah, that's it's a little too high.
Pretty cool. The
Um,
thing you ruin now are your pants. Yeah.
definitely a little too high.
50 employees turning these
So,
worn-out relics
let's
into incognito
damn.
speed demons.
Freaking tight.
How many of these have you done now?
Where's my wrench? Just fit that? Hell yeah. Alright.
Got here, Jeepster from
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna go
Original paint, always overland. Then we have a
like I originally said, like this.
Back derelict. A 58 Series 1 Rolls-Royce.
I have to extend the wiring harness, so I'm not too thrilled about cutting my Holly harness, but
the Rolls Royce.
it is what it is.
Full Art Morrison
So it's
chassis,
gonna go like that.
S9 paddles,
This will go here in the
full
front.
independent, custom leather interior, all new wood and all that.
Have great Poupon races. Very cool.
Right.
66 to 76.
And I'll go something like that.
go off on them, kind of reimagine them.
With the Bronco, do you
So I'm
do a
saying I
Ford
can't
Ford,
go
or do you do a Chevy motor
like
and a
that.
No, I gotta do a Ford and a Ford, I think.
That looks pretty good with it up like that, and I have to extend the harness anyway, so I might as well just make it long enough just to reach, come over here, and go here.
But somehow the line
You know?
keeps getting longer and longer.
When I look at
I
the
kinda like that.
vehicles they have here, I can't tell if these are finished.
I don't know.
Or car Chevy.
I gotta put some sealer on those threads, so I'm not gonna bore you guys with that, but
Oh, okay. They're out here getting patina.
Yes, exactly.
let me dig out the connector,
While we theorize our
because there is a connector
Thanks,
somewhere-
I'll find what a
somewhere in here
Wolf is.
happy to do so.
for fuel pressure.
Take care.
I don't know where the hell I stuffed it,
One thing I like about
but
sleepers is
it's in here somewhere. I gotta dig that out,
you can spend $250,000 or
and then
spend a quarter of a quarter of a quarter of that.
This surprises people.
and then
Just sitting at a
I wanted to. Oh, I think I already
have
showed you
somebody
guys
glance
in my
over,
last mail time.
identify the noise
I
they're
I got this cool wire
hearing,
loom.
see their necks.
Here comes the 1/4 inch stuff. I just got the 1/4 inch stuff, which is right here, and it's braided. It's not not this stuff, the split wire loom.
My name's George.
It's actual. There is no split in it, so you got to feed the wires through the center of it, and it kind of, it really looks like the Holly stuff. So that might be another project in itself, undoing all this wiring and putting it all in one big fat wire loom that comes around. I'd love to clean all that up. So then I have to dig through this red thing like I showed you in the beginning of the video, and here is my oil pressure feed
Volvo is just,
from the side of
with a
the
Chevy
oil
engine
pan.
in it. When I had
And
my
here
own
is
shop, this car came to
my
shop, had a blown
oil
engine.
pressure
The
gauge.
owner decided I'm not
So
gonna fix
we're gonna
it.
fix that today
So
too, because I like having a mechanical
Had a
gauge.
350, stuck it in there, and
So,
there it is.
gonna pause you guys, okay?
Horsepower. You stand
Okay.
on it, but it's
So,
that's the thing. It's
just
fun.
wanted to
it has nothing
show you
hanging
guys.
off of it. Hood
Hey,
scoops.
fuel just
lid
started
fenders.
leaking out of
If you
that.
look inside the car, there's nothing. It looks like somebody's
Oh, I think I
mother's
disturbed the,
car or now grandmother's car.
fuel started pouring out of the regulator for no reason, and
And
I
this
moved
is
the
my
harness
favorite.
and moved
I
the
want to roast the tires right now.
fuel lines, and
Really
it's
good.
just back fed.
Can we?
So, anyways, here is the, move this out of the way. Here's a fuel pressure sensor that I bought. So I dug out the harness, the connector, and it was like this long from here to here, from like here to here. So I was short. So instead of cutting my Holly harness and extending it or whatever, I just untaped the harness, dug the connector out, which is right here. Well, dug the wires out, and I just went a little bit further down the line, and now I'm just gonna tape this up here, put it all back into the loom, and I'll just put I'll take this loom off, and I'll put a new piece of loom on here, and it's plenty long. Right there, it'll plug right in. So
You have a brand new 1987
that's what we're gonna do.
GNX
So I'm gonna pause you guys. Sorry for the background noise. I'm watching Jay Leno's Garage. So
That is correct. This one has never been
and I'm deaf.
Never been
So gonna pause you guys. I'll get it all taped up and show you how it comes out. Okay, so what we're gonna do now,
1939
I got the
and of course
the part where I
Mercedes
pull these out of the harness. I always tape it there so it don't keep running. You know, so now it's secured where the length I'm gonna need it. That's gonna go right like that.
The windshield cranks down.
Now I'm gonna unpin this connector.
Pre-selected gearbox, which works as sort of a
I'm
semi-automatic.
gonna take my phone down and take a picture so I know I put it back together correctly.
That's a
Wired correctly.
Alloy V12,
But,
a detuned
so
version
we're gonna
of
unpin
the
this
Internet
connector,
powered the Delahaye Type 145
take the connector
run
piece off so it's just the pins, slide this off,
Back in the late 30s,
slide this loom off, and I'm gonna get a new piece of loom that's gonna go from here to here,
and the French government said,
repin it,
francs, which is
and then
about
finish taping it up, and then that way it looks like I never touched it.
to a manufacturer.
I'm gonna try
And did it do it?
and get this
It did.
Yeah.
labeling off of here as well. If not, I'll get my label maker and I'll make a new one so I know what this connector's for. If I ever take the harness out and pull a motor or whatever, I know what it is. Proper labeling always makes your life a lot easier
It just looks like a standard Mercedes
in the end.
early 90s.
So, gonna pause you.
Except there are little subtle cues.
your first car like you remember
Okay,
your-
so
Never
I got my new loom on there.
They're like a member of the
This stuff
family.
is awesome, man.
Let's face
I love it.
our lives pretty much revolve
It pretty much looks identical to
That's what we're going to talk about today. Stories of love.
the Holly harness. The Holly harness actually is really a split loom, but it's this braided split loom, which is really nicer, way nicer than this plastic crap. And this isn't braided. It's like a tube,
Catch car fever.
so you squish it down like that,
No one is
and it gets really
That's
big.
definitely the case with our
and you
own
just
vice president.
fish your wires through it, and it
I'm here at a
when you're
Secret
done, you
Service
stretch it
training
out like
facility
this. You go
outside
bloop,
Washington, D.C. to learn about
down
the
like
only
that,
vehicle
and it's a perfect fit.
ever loved.
Hey, Jay, how
It's
are
gonna
you?
look
Hey,
nice.
Mr. Vice President.
Okay,
Joe Biden is a two-term vice president
hold
of
on.
the United
Gonna
States.
pause you guys. Okay,
Sell it for 12.5.
See?
Yeah.
let's go take you on a little tour of what I've done. Okay.
And so this will never leave. Can we take it?
So, oops, just get that thing out of here. Okay. So, like I said, this harness came out over here, and it reached to about here, and I needed like 4 more inches of room. So, like I simply did is just untaped the harness here, pulled the wires back to give me my 4 inches of room or whatever, 3 inches of room. Taped it so it wouldn't keep chasing and going that way or this way. Tucked them all back in and taped them. And then I unpinned the connector. So I took all the pins out of the connector and I put this new piece of braided nylon loom on there, and then just repinned the connector and plugged it in. So that's where we're at. So we got our gauge here so we can see whatever it is. It's like 40, 50, 60 straight up and down. We want to be about 48 to 50, somewhere in there, I do believe, 52 when it's running. And then this is a boost reference fuel pressure gauge, fuel pressure regulator that I got off, I do believe I got it off of either Amazon or eBay, one of the two. And it's boost reference from this vacuum line right here that comes into it. For every pound of boost, it gives it 2 pounds of fuel pressure. So if it's 48 and then you hit the throttle and makes 1 pound of boost, it'll go up to 50, 52, 54, 56, and so on. So you always have good fuel pressure. Here's your return line, your in and your out. So in and out. It goes to this. One goes to the Y connector. One goes to that rail. This one goes to this rail. Reason being, I was just going to go on one rail and jump over, but if you guys remember, there's not enough room for a fitting here because it hits the back of the alternator. So I just put a bulkhead plug in there, plug on the other side, on the other rail, the back side of it, and this went in here and over there. So that's the fuel system. Now we're going to fix that damn oil pressure gauge. Hopefully. So, and then we'll kind of do something here and clean up this wiring and get that up. So, there's not much I can do with this. This eventually, over the winter, depending, but on the situation, but eventually the bench seat's coming out. I'm going to put 2 Kirky aluminum seats in there. A lot of the interior is coming out of it. I want to get a roll cage in it this year. And then, depending on how fast we want to go, we'll decide on what kind of roll cage we're going to put in it. You know, whether it's going to be TIG welded or MIG welded, chromoly or mild steel. There's a lot depending. A lot of it has to do with money, because money's money. You got to make it to spend it. So we'll see how busy this winter, this fall and winter does at the dealership, and all that. So other than that, let's get on this oil pressure gauge. That's our next project for today. We're obviously in the truck. I'm on my way over to buy one of these. Of course, I go to label that fuel pressure harness and I'm out of the tape that goes inside the label maker. So I gotta go buy one of those. Well, it's a perfect time to go for a ride, and we'll do a data log to make sure our fuel pressure is correct. I'll spin you around here. Oil pressure gauge is working again. 65 pounds on idle at 162 degrees. It's pretty damn good oil pressure. And I figured out, well, finally, that used to always be red. Now that I do believe that I have the fuel pressure hooked up, that is now green. And we have fuel pressure is 63 psi. So a little high on our fuel pressure, so we have to lower that. But I am going to do a data log just for ha-has to make sure that it is increasing under boost. We're not going to really be able to make too much boost because it's just going to spin the tires, and no load means no boost. But I'm sure we can make a pound or two, or 5, or whatever. But, so I'm on my way to Staples now. I'm going to pause you. Okay. I'm going to put you guys over here because I got you plugged in because my battery's getting low. Are we recording? Let me see. Yeah. Okay, so, gotta let this lady by. So I'll put you guys over here right now. As I was driving, I was running a data log, and also monitoring the gauges and sensors and everything. And it does increase with boost. I haven't done the math yet, but it does. We're gonna go over the data log when I get back. But it is working. That boost reference regulator does work properly. Well, I do believe I have my fuel pressure set a little high. I think it's at 62 on idle. I kind of wanted about 58 is stock. 58, I do believe 56 or 56 to 62 I do believe is normal operating for a stock vehicle, which basically that's what this is, you know, less the camshaft and turbocharger and all that, but so it's at 62, 63 on idle, somewhere in there. So we're a little high. I think I want to bring that down to 58. And that would be more stable on idle. And it increases like it advertised. Like I said, I haven't done the math yet, but it looks like it goes up per pound of boost. Goes up 2 psi of fuel pressure, which is really cool, you know. I'm glad I'm able to data log fuel pressure now. It's awesome. Oil pressure gauge is fine. I haven't looked at that yet to see if it is leaking at that connection that I made. We will look at that in a moment when I get back. I gotta make a quick stop to pick up some adult beverages for later. Because it's Sunday night and I'm in a mood for a couple twisted teas later. Because everybody knows, if you're one of my subscribers, I love twisted tea. Raspberry. Yeah, so good. And I was talking with one of my good friends, and I did him a solid on one of his customer cars, and I programmed a window switch for him. You know, and he asked me, how much I owe you, I'm like, Dad, forget about it. And he said, I'll tell you what. He has a IBM-based tablet, one of the little tablets, like one of Amazon Fire, one of the little ones. I gotta see if it has a USB port on it. If it does, then we can lose this laptop mount the fuck out of here And I'm thinking about making it fit inside here. So I'll have a, basically just like the Holly dash, but it'll be the full, you know, it'll be the actual software. I can data log and do everything right from in here. Way bigger than that little thing, and way more, you can do way more editing with a laptop or a tablet. So maybe we'll black this out, put something in here. I'll buy an outer box for it, and we'll mount it like I did my iPad and the Dodge Rock 1500. So I am at where I'm at my next stop. So I'm gonna pause you guys. We'll pick it back up when we get back to the garage. All right, data log here. At this point right here, our fuel pressure is in purple. So our fuel pressure right here is at 61 psi. Our boost, which is in, we're going to use our map sensor, which is blue, we are at 66 kPa. So basically 66 kPa, we're still in vacuum. So we're making 0 boost right there, 0 psi of boost. In fact, we are in vacuum. Now, you can see where I laid into it, and because everything is obviously going up. So we'll still get our boost here, and we are at 140 kPa. So 100, let me pull up my little thing. 100, yeah, this is a calculator map from Sloppy Mechanics built. You put in whatever number your map sensor is, which mine is 140, and it tells you how many pounds of boost you're making. So 5.8, so almost 6 pounds of boost. All right, and let's look at where our fuel pressure is, which is right here. So we'll tap that, and our fuel pressure went from 61 to 70. So let's do the math. 6 pounds of boost is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and a little better. 10, so like 11 pounds, 11 psi jump, and 6 pounds of boost. So 61 to 70 is 9 pounds. So that's actually a little bit better. So because 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, so we're 2 psi off. But who knows, I could have been letting out of it and feathering it. Right here you could see is a little weird coming through. And I'm right at the drop point here, so who knows. But so that's basically doing correct. It's 2 psi of fuel pressure for each pound of boost, which is kind of cool. Now I wanted to look at another data log. So I'm going to pause you guys. I did 2. I put 1 up on the limiter and use the trans brake. I want to look at that one. Where I went on the rev limiter and staged the car. Okay, you can see the green, this is TPS, so that's wide open throttle. Okay, you can see these squiggles here. That is the rev limiter. So it's going up and down right here. And then when I release it, it's right here. Boop, everything goes up. Okay, so that's RPM, what we're looking at here. And it's at, I got it set at like 3,000 or 2,800. So, yeah, it's 3,000. So it's bouncing around 3,000 here. Our fuel pressure, which is right here. Let's go right here. Ooh, hold on. Hold on, stay with me. Our fuel pressure right there is at 60 psi at the very beginning. And as we're sitting here on the limiter building boost, you can see the blue is our boost. So it's climbing, climbing, climbing. What's our boost right there? Let's see if I can get it. We are in 99 kPa, so we're in vacuum state. Over here. we're at 127 kPa. So 127 kPa. 4 pounds. So we're leaving on 4 pounds of boost. And our fuel pressure right here is 67. 67. So 61. So 4 pounds. 2, 4, 6, 8 psi. It's at 61 and it leaves at 67. So 6 pounds. So that's pretty close. It's about 2 psi off. We're at 2 psi off, which, like I said, we're on a limiter. It hasn't really done anything yet, so we don't have a solid pull because of the rain, the tires spinning. We can't really get an accurate data log in the rain, is what it is. But it's pretty freaking cool, man, how you could data log, and this Holly is awesome. And the sky's the limit. You know, I could definitely foresee the future that I will be, when this gets to its next level, that I will be taking a Terminator X out, ECU out, and a Dominator will be going in. I could already foresee the future because the 4 ins and 4 outs gets it done for a street car. But the level we want to bring this to over the next year or so, it's going to be more than a street car. It's still going to be a street car driving on the road, but it's going to have everything a drag truck should be, drag race car, you know. So, all right, gonna pause you guys and do a wrap-up video outside the truck. Okay. Okay, wrap-up video. We got the fuel pressure sensor installed. We got the fuel pressure gauge installed. We fixed the oil pressure gauge. That is all complete. I tied up some of the wiring here and got that squared away. I got my ins and outs still hanging out because I need to be hanging out because there's going to be some more stuff that's going to be tied into them. So that's why I left those wires out. And this green and white wire off of the trans brake bump box. I left those 2 wires out because that's how you program it in case I have to go with a quicker time or a longer time on the bump if I have to reprogram it at a later date. So that is done. Oil pressure gauge is fixed. Yeah, and that's it. So that's all the things that we've accomplished today. I just got back to my house. I want to show you what I got. My buddy John has made a donation to the cause. This is a Windows 10 IBM based tablet. This should run the Holly software, and I should be able to mount it in my dash. Hopefully, somewhere in there. I might have to make a standoff with an OtterBox black case and snap it in, but we are going to attempt to get that done within the next week or 2 or whatever. I gotta see if I can find an OtterBox case. But other than that, this is gonna be our next project. I'm gonna put the Terminator X software in it tonight, hopefully, and then we'll see if I can get this thing to talk. It does have a USB port on it, which is freaking awesome. It does have a camera on it. But and we do have, it's got space for a docking station, HDMI out, headphone charger. It's got all that stuff. So gonna pause you guys, and we will actually, I'm not gonna pause you guys. This is the end of it. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Any questions in the comments below, and we're coming up close on 200 subscribers. So when we get there, I'm gonna do a big smoky burnout, maybe a few donuts, who knows, but we got to get to the 200. So don't forget to like, comment, share, all that stuff. And if you want, hit the bell for notifications. But I'll see y'all later, folks.